Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen, the strongest sorcerer of today, the man with the six eyes and infinity, versus the strongest ant in history from Hunter x Hunter, the ant imbued with Nen, also known as the Ant King. Today I'm here with my friend Dark Temple, which is his channel right here. He'll be handling the Gojo scaling portion of this video, and I'll be handling Meruem. So with that being said, let's get straight to Meruem scaling. To talk about his scaling first, let's talk about the Royal Guards. We know when Pito's end was gone, the descending aura was so powerful, so threatening, that it heightened Pito's intuition more than usual. During this, Yuppie became aware by being under extreme mental stress for the first time ever in his life. For the first time, he got the true nature of his ability to come out, which made him do an explosion that made a big ass crater. And after you look at the crater that he made in the ground, after he got so stressed out, he literally just exploded. That when you do the math and the calculations to it, it comes out to 3.279 megatons of TNT, or low 7B, aka city level attack. And I'll put all the calcs for the video in the description as well. Along with Mirror's AP, we also know that their ability should be around the same tier as well, because the output he forced, he puts back into himself as well. But along with that, we know that he survived Metaro's big giant bomb explosion when he just self-exploded himself into a nuclear powerhouse called the Poor Man's Rose. The bomb was so big it made a giant crater into the ground, and it was described to be melting all the rocks and things around it. This was calculated to be at least 49 megatons of TNT or force at the low end, and 245 megatons of TNT in the high end, which are both around city level. Now let's get into Meruem's speed scaling. We know that he is so fast that it's just stated that if he waits even 1 second, that he'll catch up to his Royal Guard member. Where it takes a Royal Guard member 15 minutes to go from where they was to the castle, Meruem will get there in 5 minutes, which will mean Meruem is 3 times faster than his Royal Guard members. We also know how fast his Nen move is as well, especially when he goes with N, because it stated that the protons released into the Ns. When his second time using it at most, he was able to emit all his N and Nen into protons, moving them at the speed of light. We also have the calculation where Netero was fighting Meruem, where Netero was using his Buddha technique on Meruem. It was stated that he used several hundreds of thousands of blows in under a minute, which at least should be 300,000 into wiki standards, right? So if we get started with the calculations, it gets pretty high, which it gets him to Mach 77.30, but however, this assumes that the only thing Netero was doing was hitting one hand after another, when in reality it was hitting Meruem a distance away, waiting for him to return, then releasing the next hand. With that in mind, I would like to make the assumption that at least half the time was dedicated to Meruem's return journey. Even though in reality, the majority of the time as Netero's hits are portrayed to be instantaneously, even in the middle of the fight. So with that little highball, we're going to bump the speed up to Mach 154.60, which is massive hypersonic speed scaling for Meruem, the King of the Ants. Now we're going to start talking more so about Meruem's Nen abilities and the powers and abilities that he has in the battle, now that we finished his AP and speed scaling. We also know that Meruem has very potent fear hacks abilities with his Nen, aka his Ren, which is malicious intent, which we know from Heaven's Arena. Wing comes in and states that if you continue to strain your body while being not protected in Ren, you will die. And that Ren is just your willpower being inflicted upon you. It's like similar to being naked in a blizzard and wondering why it's cold. Wing then goes more further in depth on how Ren works. For example, he brings up Gon and Killer into the room, then he says he's gonna go step-by-step process where first he thinks he's gonna kill you, and then once he thinks he's gonna kill you, he focuses his soul into a singular point, which more further implies that Ren is spiritually based as well. It's a spiritual attack that works on a spiritual level. You can express yourself mentally or verbally when doing this. Then after he does it, he unleashes his spirit and his willpower upon you, which makes a Ren, which is shown right here. It's just stated that you could use the aura to kill people, and if you don't have any defenses to it, your body will be crushed as well. We also know this is more consistent. For example, in Phantom True Arc and York New, it states that if he's supposed to malicious Nen during Zetsu, his mind and body will be destroyed. So it further implies that this Nen and Ren affects your mind, body, and soul. This is important because we know Meruem's Ren is actually so potent, it feels like time just stops moving whenever he uses it, and then starts moving again and looks away at it. And when he was in a room with Pito, Netero, and the guy Zeno Zodiac, he literally, all of them were frozen in time from his sheer Ren alone. And we know that his bloodlust is so great when he uses on people, it makes their facial features age as if 100 years has passed and their entire life flashes before their eyes and then jumbled and bursts out. Even to the point where they see the genuine hallucinations of the king just murdering them straight up and eating their head off. and is potent enough when the royal guards thought like the people that are invading the castle might be a threat to him. He flexes aura to this point where all the royal guard immediately knew and understood that it's possible to win a battle with just sheer aura alone, and that'd be impossible to defeat him. Now I'll let Dart talk about Gojo scaling.
So for Gojo's scaling, Jogo can create city-destroying meteors. A 15 fingers holding back Sukuna can destroy all of Shibuya, being calced at city level. That should be more accurate. And that should be the more accurate scale. If you want a higher interpretation on his scaling, consider checking out my Gojo scale. His 200% hollow purple doing this. So yeah, he sits comfortably at city level to island via scaling massively above Dagon, who can create an island. For his abilities, he has Infinity, which creates an infinite space between him and his opponent. The Limitless techniques, which basically gives you the ability to manipulate space-time on an atomic level, giving him a color book as his moveset. Red and blue. Blue generates the power of attraction and cursed energy output. Gojo can use this to assault people with intense gravitational force, similar to that of a black hole. And red reverses Limitless through the concept of divergence, generating the power to repel. This technique can be used to unleash an immense amount of force in an instant, or can combine these two to create hollow purple using imaginary mass to erase anything in front of it from reality itself. Also has teleportation and can fly. Can use infinite void to attack the target with an infinite set of information, and makes them see and feel everything and nothing at once to where they cannot move. For Gojo's speed, he scales relative in speed to that of Sukuna, who can dodge attacks that are the speed of electromagnetic waves, which are at the speed of light, putting him at FTL or higher, possibly due to the fact that he can move in spaces like the prison realm, giving him inaccessible speed for moving without time. But it's more consistent for him to be in the FTL levels of speed, or just even massively hypersonic plus, depending on how fast you think Kashimo is.
Now that we have went over both scaling for each character, as both of them are both city level in AP and speed, Gojo has the upper hand in speed as he's light speed, and Meruem's only massively hypersonic. Even if you want to take the higher end scale of Gojo or lower end of scale of Gojo, it wouldn't matter, he's way faster than Meruem. The only way you can argue for Meruem if you think him moving so bad fast with that time feels like it stopped, literally is the only way he could even compete with high-end Gojo or Gojo in general in speed scaling. And then when it comes to hacks, Gojo has better hacks than Meruem and more hacks than him as well. He has Infinity, which makes it where the infinite converges doesn't let anyone touch him or hit him. He has domain expansion, make sure it kills, and also puts infinite information to Meruem's brain, which he doesn't resist if he were to pop domain expansion and land it. But that doesn't make that mean Gojo's going to 100% win this matchup every single time they were to face off. If Meruem is able to go off his malicious men in time, he will be able to paralyze Gojo from the fear hacks alone and everything from it, and destroy his mind, body, and soul, as Gojo has never been able to show anything resistance to that at any point in the series. The only thing he even got close to was purple, which is only physical matter. And the intensity of Meruem's willpower and his malicious intent would make Gojo start hallucinating, and it would just kill Gojo. He doesn't have any spiritual resistance like that compared to characters in Hunter x Hunter, which could make it go either way. So on who really wins, it really comes down to you guys interpret the battle will go. Do you think Meruem's run will instantly just corrupt Gojo with his malicious intent and kill him off rip? Or do you think that Infinity will be able to stop it? Or Gojo will speed blitz him before the malicious intent could even touch him? With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out Dark Temple's channel or anything like that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Check the description for Dark Temple's channel, and also check the description for the song I used in the video.